This video is presented by Department of History for the National Science Day 21. Sir C.V. Raman was born in Tiruchirappalli, Madras Presidency on 7th November 1888. Parents Chandrasekhara Ramanathan Iyer and Parvati Ammal. In 1892, his family moved to Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh as his father was appointed to the Faculty of Physics at Mrs. A.V. Narasimha Rao College. Raman studied at St. Aloysius Anglo-Indian High School. In 1904 and 1907, Raman obtained B.A. degree and M.A. degree in physics from University of Madras. At age 18, he published his first scientific paper on unsymmetrical diffraction bands due to a rectangular aperture in the British Journal Philosophical Magazine in 1906. His second paper, published in the same journal, on surface tension of liquids. Based on this paper, Lord Rayleigh started to communicate with Raman, courteously addressing him as professor. Raman married Logasundari Ammal, self-arranged marriage, on 6th May 1907. In 1907, his family moved to Calcutta and were accused of converting to Christianity. Both of them often visited St. John's Church, Calcutta. Two sons, Chandrasekhara Raman, Venkatraman Radhakrishnan. Raman was the paternal uncle of Subramania Chandrasekhar, recipient of the 1983 Nobel Prize in Physics. In June 1907, Raman qualified for the Indian Finance Service and was posted in Calcutta as Assistant Accountant General. His friends, Ashutosh Dey, lifelong collaborator, Amitalal Sarkar, founder and secretary of Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. Ashutosh Mukherjee, Vice Chancellor of the University of Calcutta.
In 1907, Raman's article Newton's Rings in Polarized Light was published in Nature. In 1909, his work inspired IACS to publish a Journal Bulletin of Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. From 1915, the University of Calcutta started assigning research scholars under Raman at IACS. By 1919, Raman had guided more than a dozen students. In 1919, Raman received 2 honorary positions at IACS, Honorary Professor and Honorary Secretary. He referred to this period as the golden era of his life. In 1914, Raman was chosen by the University of Calcutta to become the Pallitt Professor of Physics. It was strongly objected by foreign Senate members of the University of Calcutta, as Raman had no PhD and had never studied abroad, but was delayed for taking up the position as World War I broke out. In 1917, he became a full-fledged professor in Rajabazar Science College, Calcutta. In 1921, Raman conferred as Honorary DSc by the University of Calcutta, arranged by Ashutosh Mukherjee. He visited Oxford to deliver a lecture at the Congress of Universities of the British Empire hosted by J.J. Thomson and Lord Rutherford in the same year. In 1926, he established the Indian Journal of Physics as the first editor. The second volume of the journal published his famous article, A New Radiation, reporting the discovery of the Raman effect. Raman was succeeded by Devendra Mohan Bose as the Pallitt Professor in 1932. In 1933, he left Calcutta to join the Indian Institute of Science (IISc) in Bangalore as its first Indian director. During his tenure at IISc, he recruited G.N. Ramachandran, who later went on to become a distinguished X-ray crystallographer. He founded the Indian Academy of Sciences in 1934 and started publishing the proceedings of the Academy. Meanwhile, Calcutta Physical Society was established, the concept of which was initiated by Raman early in 1917.
With his former student Panjapakesha Krishnamurti, Raman started a company called Travancore Chemical and Manufacturing Co. Limited in 1943. The company, renamed as TCM Limited in 1996, was one of the first organic and inorganic chemical manufacturers. In 1947, Raman was appointed as the first national professor by the new government of independent India. Raman retired from the Indian Institute of Science in 1948 and established the Raman Research Institute in Bangalore a year later. Raman's second important discovery on the scattering of light was a new type of radiation, an eponymous phenomenon called Raman effect. After discovering the nature of light scattering that caused blue color of water, he focused on the principle behind the phenomenon. His experiments in 1923 showed the possibility of other light rays formed in addition to incident ray when sunlight was filtered through a violet glass in certain liquids and solids. Ramanathan believed that this was a case of a trace of fluorescence. In December 1927, Raman, inspired by the announcement of Compton's Nobel Prize in Physics, K.S. Krishnan, Sir C.V. Raman's research associate, started the experiment at the beginning of January 1928. On 7th January, Krishnan discovered that no matter what kind of pure liquid he used, it always produced polarized fluorescence within the visible spectrum of light. As Raman saw the result, he was astonished why he was never observed such phenomenon all those years. That night, they named the new phenomenon as modified scattering, with reference to the Compton effect as unmodified scattering. On 16th February, they sent a manuscript to Nature titled A New Type of Secondary Radiation, which was published on 31st March. On 28th February 1928, Raman and Krishnan obtained spectra of the modified scattering separate from the incident light. Raman made the announcement to the press. The Associated Press of India reported it the next day on 29 February as New Theory of Radiation, Professor Raman's discovery. It ran the story as
Professor C.V. Raman, FRS of the Calcutta University, has made a discovery which promises to be of fundamental significance to physics. The new phenomenon exhibits features even more startling than those discovered by Professor Compton with X-rays. The principal feature observed is that when matter is excited by light of one color, the atoms contained in it emit light of two colors, one of which is different from the exciting color and is lower down the spectrum. The astonishing thing is that altered color is quite independent of the nature of the substance used.
The news was reproduced by The Statesman on 1st March under the headline Scattering of Light by Atoms, New Phenomenon, Calcutta Professor's Discovery. 1,000 copies of the paper reprint were sent to scientists in different countries on that day.
Raman was confident that he would win the Nobel Prize in Physics as well, but was disappointed when the Nobel Prize went to Owen Richardson in 1928 and Louis de Broglie in 1929. He was so confident of winning the prize in 1930 that he booked tickets in July, even though the awards were to be announced in November. He would scan each day's newspaper for announcement of the prize, tossing it away if it did not carry the news. He did eventually win it in 1930. Raman was honored with many honorary doctorates and memberships of scientific societies. As a member of Deutsche Academy of Munich, Swiss Physical Society of Zurich, Royal Philosophical Society of Glasgow, Royal Irish Academy, Hungarian Academy of Sciences, Academy of Sciences of the USSR, Optical Society of America and Mineralogical Society of America, Romanian Academy of Sciences, Catgut Acoustical Society of America and Czechoslovak Academy of Sciences. In 1924, he was elected Fellow of the Royal Society. He was the president of the 16th session of the Indian Science Congress in 1929. He was the founder president of the Indian Academy of Sciences from 1933 till his death. He was member of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences in 1961.
The Government of India issued a postage stamp on 15th September 1960 on the occasion of 100th birthday